And now, suspense.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see you again. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm doing really good. Can you see me okay? Yeah, you good? You can hear me? Hear you loud and clear. Okay, good. You look really comfortable. Well, since I don't have to leave my house, figure there's no point in getting all dressed up. You're looking snazzy. I hope you're wearing pants. Ugh. Well, I'm really glad you accepted my invitation for another interview. Sorry it's not in person, but travel's been restricted here, and considering how our last interview ended, I figured this was safer for all parties involved. Yeah, I wanted to apologize about that. You know, you kind of caught me on a weird day. Oh, no problem. I mean, as long as you don't ask me any stupid questions, we should be okay. Well, that's where you're in luck, because all of the questions I'm going to be asking you today were submitted by your subscribers. Okay. All right. Very nice. Should be fun. So there are actually quite a few questions here. Yeah, really? That's awesome. That's really cool. Surprisingly, if I'm being honest, didn't think you were such a likable guy. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, of course you're a likable guy. Is there anything you'd like to say to your subscribers before we get started? I want to thank everyone who submitted a question. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. I love you all. Follow me on Instagram at FoxtailCinematics. Also, make sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Why wouldn't you? So the first questions are going to be from Bellreeve. She asks, what is your goal for your channel? I try not to have goals. It sounds crazy, I know, but I'm not the most confident person, so having a goal kind of frightens me a bit. But I will say that what I wish happens to the channel is I just wish that people would just continue to watch and subscribe and comment really nice things. I'm very lucky to have a ton of really awesome people who watch my videos and support the videos and stuff. I would just love to continue to meet new people like Bellreeve. Love her videos. She's a total badass, and another fellow DC fan. It's kind of like the best part of this whole thing is all the great people that I've come to meet and people that I've come to think of as friends. Yeah. And I guess the last goal would be just to hopefully not run out of ideas for the channel. Last question from Bellreeve is, what is the overall niche of your channel? I don't know if I have a niche. I just make videos that I personally would like to watch, and videos that I think are just too good not to make. Like I think of an idea, and I think that's just too good of an idea not to do it, so I just go ahead and do it, and hopefully people like it. I mean, I'm not extremely unique. Any video I make, you can search up on YouTube and find hundreds others just like it. All I do is just kind of be myself, and hopefully my personality shines through enough to kind of set me apart from everyone else. I'm just a guy who loves movies and loves talking about them. And this might be a bit of a personal question, but what is your ethnic background? I ask because you have a great tan. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm 110% Native American, though I do get mistaken for Mexican. I am fluent in Spanish. This next question is from Undead Nightmare 24. He asks, what film are you looking forward to the most in 2021? I made a video about that not too long ago, about the movies that I was like the most excited to see that got pushed to 2021, and I would love to pick one of those, but if I'm being true to myself and if I'm being completely honest, the movie I'm looking forward to the most in 2021 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Love the honesty. Great choice. I know that's not a very popular choice, but I'm not part of the popular crowd. It's definitely a movie that I've been wanting to see for 4 years now. And yeah, the fact that it's finally happening, that's awesome. But like I said, it's not a popular choice. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are just not looking forward to it at all, but that's okay. I'm not most people. Second question from Undead Nightmare is, do you have a favorite movie genre? I would have to say science fiction is my favorite. Probably because when I was growing up, my favorite TV show was Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I love the idea of technology and science kind of reshaping the way we live. Though I don't like the way people dress in the future. Can we just still dress the same but have, like, you know, synthetic arm cannons and laser vision, shit like that, but we can still dress the same? Because the wardrobes that we have in pretty much all science fiction films is just terrible. Sci-fi has the ability to create the ideal world or just destroy it, so that part is the most intriguing to me. Speaking of science fiction, Nightwatch Zone asks, what is your favorite science fiction movie? So many great science fiction films out there, but I have to say that my favorite is Dark City. But it's like the first film that comes to mind when people are talking about movies where, where you question your sense of reality and the power of the human mind. I mean, when that topic comes up, most people will say The Matrix, which is fine. That's the obvious choice, but Dark City did it before The Matrix and better, in my opinion. Of course. Can't upset the Matrix fans. They are a rabid bunch. Nightwatch Zone also asks, who is your favorite director and why? I would have to say Denis Villeneuve is my favorite director at the moment, purely because of track record. Personally, I really enjoy all of his films, and the guy has yet to direct a film that I didn't like, so that's probably... So yeah, Denis Villeneuve is my favorite at the moment. So there's no other director with the perfect track record, is what you're trying to say. What about Nolan, Spielberg, Tarantino? I mean, it's pretty much been established that Tarantino is the greatest of all time. Do you disagree? I just kind of feel like at least every director out there kind of has at least one film in their filmography that I'm just not a huge fan of. Yeah, Denis Villeneuve to me has the perfect track record so far. I mean, so far, that could all change if Dune is complete trash. Nightwatch Zone's last question is, what is the best Marvel movie? Howard the Duck. Next question. Another comic book film question. This is from 4K Frank. What is your favorite cinematic universe? Marvel or DC? The Monster Universe.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Listen carefully. Kong is going to put the beat down on Godzilla.
I like your cut, G.
You did a video on your DC Steelbook collection. 4K Frank would like to know, what is your favorite DC Steelbook of the bunch? 1 second. Go grab it. So, my favorite DC Steelbook that I own is the French version of Batman vs. Superman. That is gorgeous. It truly is. Just the face-off between the two iconic characters is what I love so much. It looks incredible. Love it. Next question is from Horror Hands. What is the scariest horror film you have ever seen? I think the film that scared me the most has got to be The Exorcist. I saw it when I was really young, and I know that's kind of a generic answer, but this one legitimately scared me the most. I watched it when I wasn't supposed to. My mom was like, you are forbidden to watch this movie. And, being a dumb kid and doing the opposite of what your parents tell you, I watched it really late at night when everyone was asleep, and it just scared the shit out of me. It was just way too much for my tiny mind to comprehend. Here's a good one to follow up the question from Horror Hands. This one is from Stuff Jeff Likes. Why don't you like horror films? I kind of explained this in the a video I did on Halloween. I don't like horror because I think it's, especially modern horror, because I think it's just very lazy. It's just so filled with jump scares and gore to pretty much make up for the lack of actual scares. And it's not that I hate them at all. It's just, it's my least favorite genre because there's just not enough horror films that I actually enjoy to pique my interest in watching them. So that's quite the controversial opinion. I know that horror fans make up a huge percentage of YouTube, especially when it comes to content creators and content watchers. It's almost as if loving horror is kind of a requirement in order to be taken serious in the film community. Yeah, it's kind of the other thing that turns me off of horror films is that like everyone makes it seem as if you can't be a true film lover if you don't love horror films. Switching the topic to collecting, Lauren's Collections would like to know, what is your most prized item in your collection? I got this for a Christmas present, and it's like the greatest Christmas present I've ever got in my life. This thing is very hard to come by. It's very expensive. This is the most prized item in my collection, just because it means so much to me. Okay, last question from Lauren's Collection. She asks, what is the worst film you have ever seen? Well, as you may know, film is 110% subjective, but I would say the worst film I have ever seen has got to be movie 43. And I don't even want to call it a film. There was absolutely no love or passion or even effort that went into making whatever that was. It's basically a feature-long SNL type skit compilation. It was painfully unfunny and extremely cringy. I'm honestly surprised I was able to make it through the whole thing. Even worse is that they had an all-star cast full of some A-list celebrities and award winners, but the only reason they were in the movie is because they were either blackmailed or they were kind of baited into doing it because they saw Hugh Jackman and all these other big name people attached to it. So they're like, all right, cool, let's get in on this. Some people were blackmailed into doing that movie. Look it up. Google it, true story. The biggest collection of top tier actors wasting all that talent on this shit heap. You know, they didn't even do any kind of press for it when it came out. It was sitting on the shelf for a couple years before it was even released. And the fact that no one even acknowledges its existence should tell you all you need to know. I actually thought some of the skits were kind of funny, you see, and that's why you don't have any friends. So we're just about done. A couple more questions from 2 more subscribers. Alan, aka Kermit's Ghost, asks, if you could choose a film to be re-shown in theaters, what would it be? One movie I wish I could have seen in theaters is Black Hawk Down. I feel like just, especially maybe seeing that in IMAX, like the action sequences and just the battle scenes would be incredibly intense. I'd love to see that. Alan also asks, what TV show do you wish wasn't canceled? Alf. I mean, how the hell do you end a series on a cliffhanger? What the hell happened to Alf? Did he escape? Did he get to go home? Did he ever get to eat the cat Lucky? Or is he still being held in Area 51?
More from the tiny community of Rachel, Nevada at 6:30. Reporting live, Joe Bartel.
Last question from Alan. Are you reading any books at the moment? Yeah, the Kama Sutra. Do you mind if I borrow that when you're finished? Oh, for sure. Just awesome. Give me your info. I'll have that sent over to you. Well, it seems we've come to the end. The last 3 questions are from For the Love of Movies. First question. What is your favorite sequel? Before Sunset. Everything great about the first film, you know, the story, the dialogue, the romance, long single shot takes, the acting is all doubled in Before Sunset. It's absolute perfection. All 3 films are great. It's probably like the perfect trilogy in my opinion. Do you have a favorite movie song or soundtrack? Any and every song from Team America. And our last question for the day will be, what film do you dislike that everyone seems to love? That is a spicy question. You picked a hot one to end this one, didn't you? It's what I do. This is a question I try to avoid at all costs because I have a lot of unpopular opinions. The one I'll pick right now for this video is The Revenant. I love Leo, but The Revenant just didn't do it for me. I mean, it's Leo crawling and grunting for 2 hours. Oscar that he got for it was kind of a pity Oscar. I mean, if he was going to get an Oscar for something, he should have got it for The Wolf of Wall Street. The film is absolutely gorgeous. The use of natural lighting, the cinematography of it all, it's incredible. That was the best thing about it. It just didn't have a satisfying ending. I mean, this whole movie is kind of based on a revenge mission. You know, that's kind of what's keeping them alive, is the motivation for revenge. And at the end, he doesn't even get it. If you're not Native American, you're not really going to understand it. But I really did not like the inclusion of Native Americans in the film. I'm always up for Native inclusion, but this one just felt really unnecessary and kind of shoehorned in. it just felt pointless because they were barely in the movie. I remember halfway through, they kind of show up again, or another little different plot point again, and I'm like, oh yeah, there are actual natives in this movie. Totally forgot. They're kind of splashed in and out of the movie, and then at the end, they kind of, have their own little thing going on with Tom Hardy's character, and it just felt very unnecessary to me. All right, so that was it. This was really fun. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to do it again. Again, thank you to everyone who submitted a question. I'm very appreciative of it. If there's anything here that I did not answer that you would also like to know, please drop a question in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Thank you very much for having me. I will see you all next time. Yes, I'm just glad this didn't end with any kind of bodily injury. Mostly to myself, I mean. Yeah, no, we'll cut that out in editing. I'm just glad I didn't have to wear any pants this morning.